Hello, hello. Welcome to Creating Cash Flow. And this is my first live stream. So actually, I'm going to stand up desk. So today, I want to be able to live stream, and this is my first live stream, as I already mentioned. So I imagine no one will really be here, but this video will replay. And I want to start live streaming every morning to be able to share just at least Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. I want to be able to share what I've learned in my experience of investing, personal finance, and everything that this channel is about. So I have my first video up over here, and I'll put a link to it down below if I can. Let's see, there is a chat. I am just learning how this works. So I don't even know how the chat works, but let me get that link. So there is my very first video. And this was posted September 5th, 2022. It's now February 19th, 2024. And I posted a lot in the very beginning. I was really trying to get the channel up and going. And since I've done a lot of things with my portfolio, I've done a lot of things just in my life in general, including I work for a tech company. Again, this show is about me, a regular guy trying to build his passive income with a full-time job. And with that, there was a bunch of tech layoffs last February. So last year around this time was a very stressful time in my life. I got laid off just because the company wasn't doing that well. And, actually a few months later, pretty much the rest of the company got laid off. I was just one of the first to go, unfortunately. And with that, I started posting more and more and more and really trying to dive into my passive income and figure out how I can make more money. Since then, I have secured a new job, which I love. It's just I do product management. So it's another product management role with a smaller tech company that is in the landscaping space. So overall, I love it. And I'm still with my original goals to be able to learn as much as possible about personal finance and investing and share everything I learn here on this channel. So I guess with all of that being said, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, especially if you want to be notified every time I go live, which should be every morning at 8:30 Eastern. Or if you're watching later, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this can be helpful content. So going into my very first video that I posted over a year ago, so I guess it's been more than 12 months despite the title. I had 5 vehicles for passive income, and we're just going to do a quick check-in. So the first one was Turo. Then the next one is real estate for long-term and short-term investing, a mobile app, which I have launched, and then a social media. So this podcast is a YouTube channel, and then stocks and index funds, including ETFs. So going down the line, basically, first off, Turo, when I started Turo, and I have put videos here, it took off. I have a Jeep Wrangler here in New York City, and I pay $475 a month for parking, which is crazy, but I bought a brand new Jeep and I want to take care of it. I want to make sure that the investment stays worth it. So I have a pretty high overhead. And luckily, I was able to buy it when there was 0% financing, so a 0% APR, and finance that over 3 years. It's now completely paid off, which is a great feeling, other than the garage, which is a horrible feeling. And so as part of trying to help pay for this vehicle, I thought, well, why don't we stick it on Turo? And so stuck it on Turo, and I started immediately getting renters. And because of that, every time my Jeep rented, I'd raise the price like $50 a day. And so it got to the point where I was charging about $550 a day on weekends, which if you have lived in New York City or you are used to renting cars in New York City, that is high, but it's not completely insane. So I had people renting it and they take it for the weekend. And then I would get callbacks. So people that had rented it before would text me in the Turo app and say, hey, I want to rent it again. And so then they would book it. Sometimes I'd give them a discount. And it was going great. I have only gotten 5-star reviews on everything. So I've got all 5-star reviews. And so I was like, I should probably buy a second Jeep. And I'm glad I didn't, because it really started to slow down. The economy started to turn, as I mentioned, like when I got laid off. Just people stopped renting the Jeep. And then I would go search for it. I couldn't even find it on Turo. And now Turo deactivates a listing if you don't look at your Turo app within like every 30 days. So my Jeep got deactivated. I relisted it. Anyway, long-ish story shorter. Turo has not been all it's been panned out to be. I'm sure I could really lower the price of my Jeep, which I have, and then I still wasn't getting rentals, and I could lower it even more. But then it comes to the point of, with everything I have going on in my life, if it doesn't rent at a certain price, it's not worth it for me to go through and I don't feel like it's worth it for me to go through and make sure everything is completely clean, everything's ready to go, and then rent out the Jeep. So that's kind of my Turo update. And diving into real estate, as many of you probably know, uh, I invested in here.co, and that's kind of what got this channel going, was my investment in here.co and just talking about it and having a platform to talk about it. In the beginning, it was very exciting. They're buying up houses. Everyone's pitching in money. Hold on, my heater just turned on. Sorry, it was loud. Anyway, it was very exciting. They were buying up houses, and I started talking about it. I invested in here.co, not just in homes, but in the actual business. And since then, that unfortunately flopped. That didn't go as well as I had hoped. The homes had almost no return on them. And then here.co ended up emailing everybody saying, hey, we are completely closing down. We're not doing this anymore. So that was, luckily I didn't invest so much that I overextended myself, but that was a risky investment. And it seemed like a very cool vehicle to be able to go through and invest in real estate at a low price, at a low risk. And there's companies like Fundrise who seem to be doing it and making it work. And this seemed like an early stage version of that you could get a part of. And as many of you have probably experienced, though that investment didn't turn out, I invested in 2 homes and here.co, and unfortunately it didn't work out. So that is, right now I have nothing going on in the real estate space other than I do believe I own equity in a few REITs that I just bought like through Vanguard. So that's pretty much it. Nothing too exciting there, unfortunately. Next is the mobile app, which I'm sad to admit, this was my baby. This is probably where I put the most investment money since COVID. During COVID, I decided to launch a recommendations app so that people could make lists of their favorite things. And unfortunately, I put a lot of money into the product development. I thought the product was very cool. I'm not a great marketer or advertiser, and I didn't know how to get the app out despite trying a few different things, never ended up working. And so unfortunately I had to shut that down. So I guess so far the theme of this is I've learned a lot. All 3 of my 5 things so far, flops, failures, and put a lot of money, put a lot of time into these things. And luckily haven't ever overextended myself, despite the fact that I've put a lot into these things. So the mobile app gone. And now I'm just trying to make sure everything is closed out so I don't get any more Google Cloud charges or domain charges or anything like that for just things that are tough to remember that you were paying for at one time. So the last two, social media and stocks and index funds. So here, unfortunately, with my new job, there was a lot of my bandwidth, my brain energy, everything was going to my new job. So I didn't feel like I had the ability to come in and, give my new job my best as well as this channel. I'm now at a place that I feel like I have a lot of things working and moving well at my new job. So I'm back. I'm back. So you'll start seeing these live streams every morning. And yeah, so I guess that is exciting. And I don't earn any revenue from this yet. If you're watching this on YouTube, which is the only place to watch it right now, but you will potentially get ads. Unfortunately, YouTube makes all that money up until you have a certain amount of watch time and a certain amount of subscribers. So no income there yet, but I've definitely felt the love from a lot of you guys subscribing and watching the videos. So thank you so much. And finally, stocks and index funds. This is where I've had the most success, stocks, index funds, and then also high yield savings accounts, which obviously there's no risk there. And right now I'm with Wealthfront that has a starting APY of 5.5%, which is awesome. So that's been great. But also I've had a lot of success with ETFs, index funds, and just the market in general. I'll talk about this more in another morning, but in 2022, I had a passive income when that's when I really started tracking it. I made about $3,000 in passive income in 2022. And then in 2023, I made about 8,000. So I believe I know that doesn't sound like triple, but when I look at the actual numbers, I almost tripled the amount of money I made in passive income from 2022 to 2023, which is very exciting. And already in 2024, I'm outpacing what I did in 2023 by about double. So hopefully that can stay with it. I've made a lot of really dumb investments like ZIM, ZIM, and I have a video about that, which you can go check out. But I've also made some big wins, which are great, and I just have money reinvesting in itself. So overall, it's been going great. I know that sounds like a lot of things that didn't go great, but the whole point is to learn, to share, to grow, and not make mistakes in the future. So the next video is actually going to be a podcast that I heard from Rich Habits. Let me find it really fast. And I listened to this and it was great, really good. Where are these guys? Okay, so if you want to follow along for tomorrow's episode, I'm listening to episode number 5 from Rich Habits called Making Your First Investment, Passive Income, Real Estate, and Retirement. So I will throw that in the notes here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have an incredible day, make it a great day, and take it easy.